So, this video is actually inspired by recently Comic Pop's video talking about back issues episode about the War of Jokes and Riddles, which I think personally is like. Now, I really enjoy Tom King as a writer. I think he's a very talented writer. I think he's a spectacular writer, but in trades. And like I will admit, his Batman run went a little too long, and his some of his story, like obviously Vision, awesome. Mr. Miracle, awesome. I haven't read Rorschach yet, but I heard it's really good, and I really want to read Strange Adventures too. But as it stands, like Heroes in Crisis, not good. Like I said, most of his Batman run, it's a lot. I think it works better in trade, if we're being real. But here's the thing: the War of Jokes and Riddles for me was like the high point, and I actually really liked the War of Jokes and Riddles. And that was probably like after that and the wedding, I was like, all right, I think we've overstayed the welcome here. Okay. Yeah, but War of Jokes and Riddles was really good. And after watching that episode, I was kind of thinking, and it's kind of funny because they made jokes about this on Comic Pop of like, what if you did the War of Jokes and Riddles, but with Spider-Man characters? And to be fair, they did that already in Sinister War. Well, let me rephrase that by saying they tried to do that in Sinister War, and it was a clusterfuck. And it wasn't even billed as it was billed as like a all-out war between the villains. No, it was everyone ganging up on Spider-Man, and yeah, it was just I feel like it was just like a mad dash to the end of Spider-Man, and it was just not good. It was not good. It was not good. So Sinister War was like kind of a letdown, because that's what I thought it was going to be, like the War of Jokes and Riddles, but with Spider-Man villains. But it wasn't, and I kind of thought, wouldn't it be kind of fun to do that here, but instead of using Joker and Riddler warring it out with all the Spider-Man villains in their armies, it's the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus, the two biggest villains for Spider-Man. Like, that makes sense. Like, it's a war between Octavius and Osborn. Like, that makes sense. They don't like each other to begin with. And use all the other villains as pawns, so it stands to reason that these guys would try to kill each other. Like, makes a lot of sense. So that's what we're gonna do here. Now, it's interesting because I wanted to have this kind of like in the same vein as the original comic, where it's Bruce telling Selina about this dark chapter in their lives. Here, it's Peter back with Mary Jane. He's kind of talking to her about just kind of reminiscing, and he basically tells her look, there was a point where you weren't around, like we were kind of on a break. Like, remember one of those times we went on break? They went on break a lot. You and I were on break, and you went away for a while. Like, you wanted to get your modeling and TV career going, and I was just being Spider-Man. There was a point that I don't talk a lot about because it was devastating for me, and I think you need to hear this, because I think about it to this day, and I'm like, it gives me nightmares. He tells Mary Jane, like, this still makes me think about the hell that I went through. Yeah. So he basically tells her, and also, if you're wondering where this is set continuity-wise, this is the present, and now we're back in the past. But not, early day Spider-Man. This is a Spider-Man who has been around for a while. This is a Spider-Man that I guess you could say, this is after Norman is dead, and Kraven is still alive, but we don't have symbiotes yet. We haven't gotten to Black Suit Spider-Man yet. We haven't gotten to that level, with Black Suit Spider-Man. We haven't reached Black Suit yet. We are on the cusp of Secret Wars. This is right before Secret Wars, and the two are just, everyone is just kind of just hanging out. That's the thing, is that everyone, it's right before Clone Saga, Secret Wars, Black Suit, every major thing from Spider-Man. It's in that era, that open space. So, and you're also wondering, well, you said Osborn was in the story and he's Green Goblin. What's going on here? I didn't say Norman. This is Harry Osborn, Green Goblin. So Peter basically tells the story that what happened was, and he's basically telling he learned this from Second, and people were telling him these parts as well. Is that what happens? Is that Green Goblin Harry went to Octavius one night as the Green Goblin, and he's still it's still like he's starting out, and Harry went to Octavius one night and is like, so here's the deal. I know you think that I can't... And Octavius was like, I guess he's here... The Green Goblin is here to be... Like, he wants to team up. Like, he wants to make, like, the Sinister Six or some shit. I'll indulge him. I will indulge him. Let's hear what he has to say. And Harry goes, I bet you thought this is what's going to happen, is that you and me were going to team up, make a new Sinister Six or 12 or Sinister whatever. But the fact of the matter is, I want to kill Spider-Man. I have more stake in it. He's a nuisance to you. Like, when you get down to it, in theory, you could just step away from Spider-Man. You don't need him. I mean, yeah, you guys have a history, but really, I'm the one who wants to kill him. I have a bigger stake in killing him. And that's like, and Octavius goes, I bet you do, Harry. And he's like, excuse me? And it's just like, I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking scientist. I'm smart. I know it's you. Like when they revealed it, like, I learned, like, through contacts and whatever, that it was Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin. So it stands to reason that the only other person who can get his tech is his fucking son. I'm not a goddamn idiot. And and Harry goes, well, it still stands. I'm the Green Goblin. It's my destiny to kill Spider-Man. And he's like, and you are either going to help me or I'm going to put you out of your misery. And Octavius is like, so I'm not going to do that. In fact, the next time I run into Spider-Man, I'll kill him and I'll drop his corpse off at your door with me going, ha, I won. And he wouldn't do that, obviously. He's just trying to goad him, like he's goading Harry into a fight. And Harry, of course, accepts that. The two fight, they get into it, it's a draw. But at this point, Harry goes back to his mansion and is like, all right, asshole, it's on. Like, I am going to war with Otto Octavius. And Otto's already like, well, I can't just let him go, so I'm going to have to, like, a swift... I need to take him out now, because I can't fight fucking Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. I can't do that. So what he does is call together the other Sinister Six members, and he's like, yeah, we're all here. He gets the original band back together, and he tells them, like, here's what's going to happen. We are going to go to Norman Osborn. We are going to go to the Osborns and kill Harry Osborn. I'm not going to tell you why we're doing that. I'm just going to tell you that we're going to kill him. And he makes up this thing like, Osborn has tech and money, and we're going to take all that for ourselves. Are you guys in? And Electro and Sandman are like, sure, yeah, let's do it. And then Otto looks over to Vulture, Kraven, and Mysterio and goes, you guys didn't give your answer. And he goes, oh, we did. We gave it to Mr. Osborn 5 minutes ago, like 30 minutes ago. And then it's a 3-on-3 fight. So yeah, Vulture, Mysterio, and Kraven have picked sides with the Green Goblin. So by this point, Octavius and Harry are gathering other Spider-Man villains left and right. Like, Hobgoblin goes to Octavius, because obviously he's not going to work for fucking Harry. Jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern goes to Octavius, because Hobgoblin isn't a thing yet. Because Harry's here, so obviously Hobgoblin isn't a thing, so excuse me. So yeah, Jack-o'-lantern goes there, the Tarantula goes to Harry, you got fucking Rhino goes to Octavius. Like, it's just back and forth with all the villains. So, and I'm talking, like, all the villains. Like, even the D-list Spider-Man villains show up and pick sides. And the war breaks out between the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. And Spider-Man is caught in the middle between these two. And he's just... Peter is just in ruins about it. Like, because all of this death, like, people are just dying left and right in this war. Like, if you thought the Batman villain war was kind of big, now imagine that with more superpowered villains, like Shocker and Electro throwing down, Rhino throwing down with Rhino throwing down with Kraven. It's a lot. Like Scorpion fighting Vulture. It's all over the place, and people are getting killed on an exponential level. Now, this is a seasoned Spider-Man, and he's doing what he can. And thankfully, unlike Batman, who at the time was with the Justice League during the War of Jokes and Riddles, he calls help. He's like, please, I need. He goes to the Avengers. He goes to the Fantastic Four, and he goes, I need help. And they do give help, but the villains always get away because they're always being so well organized. It gets to the point where, and this is the part where Peter reveals to MJ, this is the part that really makes me sick. It gets to a point where Peter tells MJ that one night when he was at his apartment alone, and that's when Harry showed up as the Green Goblin. And he's just in his apartment like, sup, Pete? And he goes, so here's the deal, Parker. I want you to join me. And he's like, no. You started this war with Octavius to kill me. I'm not fucking joining you. And he goes, I think you will, because here's the thing. Not a day goes by where I don't think about killing your loved ones like my dad did to Gwen. So, here's the thing. At any point, I want you to really think about this, Peter. At any point, I could just put on my Goblin costume, go to Mary Jane's house, and rip her to pieces with my bare hands and videotape it and send you the video. And then I will go to your Aunt May's house and smash her head into the wall till it's a bloody pulp. Then I'll go to the Bugle and murder every one of your colleagues there in the building. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because now every day you will thank not God. Actually, you will thank God, and I will silently go, you're welcome. Because now you will say, thank God Harry Osborn didn't kill didn't kill my loved ones. And he's like, I could just kick your ass right now. And he's like, Peter's just stewing in his rage. And this is where Harry goes, but here's the kicker. I'm only after you. We both know Octavius has grander plans other than killing you and ruining your life. He is going to, Octavius ever got his way, because he thinks he's some, Dr. Doom, he will try to rule the world, or at the very least, nuke it. Your life, when it comes to me, I'm just going to ruin your life. When Octavius when it comes to Octavius, he's going to destroy everyone's life. So which is it going to be, Parker? Which devil would you rather have? Me, who's going to ruin only one life, or the other guy who's going to ruin everyone's life? And this is where Spider-Man, Peter tells MJ, that night I will never forget because I joined the Green Goblin side and helped end the war. Yeah, that was the big secret, was that Peter joined Harry Osborn's side, and it made him sick because every time I worked with all of these villains, it made me it wasn't some grandiose plan. It was more I had to do this, and it just gave more fuel to the fire for Jonah to make me look like a monster. So there you go. That was pretty much I guess you could call it a Marvel version of the War of Jokes and Riddles. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? Like it, hate it, and what Spider-Man villains do you think would choose which side would they go on? Which Spider-Man villains would go to which side? Who do you think would join Harry's side, and which do you think would join Octavius's side? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, if you haven't already, hit the link below to my Patreon, where if you hit the 4th tier, you can not only get the exclusive content on there, you can also send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.